What's happening, you guys? My name is Rafael at Top Shot Collectibles. In this channel, I show you the ins and outs of running an online TCG business, as well as covering the market, Pokemon investing, and collecting for the TCG market as a whole. In today's video, we're going to talk about the top 4 mistakes that people make while investing into Pokemon. There has been a lot going on right now with the current bull market, and it's very easy to just buy anything and see returns on your investment. And so with a lot of new people joining the hobby after the TCG Pocket and Surging Sparks release, I feel like a lot of people haven't been around for that long, and I see a lot of new faces that always tell me, I just started the hobby, I just started collecting 2 to 3 months ago, I just started with Prismatic Evolutions, I just started with Destined Rivals. I feel like a lot of these people don't really know what really happens after a bull market settles and what comes next. And it can be very, very devastating for your hard-earned money if you're investing and thinking that things are always going to happen the way that they have been in the last 8 months of this bull market. So I figured I'll put this video together and show you guys what my thoughts are and give you the top 4 mistakes that a lot of people make when it comes to investing into Pokemon cards. All right, at number 4, for the top mistake that I see people do is buying PSA 10 slabs for the brand new set that just came out. So I'm talking about a day to a week of a release of a brand new set, going in and buying the PSA 10 slabs that, are going to come to the market. Now, there's 2 sides to the story. If you're a business and your whole purpose is to find raw cards to grade to then be able to take advantage of the premium that PSA 10 slabs will carry because you want to be first to market, then that's a different story, right? You can buy the cards and grade for PSA 10. There's a lot of businesses that their whole business revolves around this. That's why you see a lot of people that run businesses online on YouTube. They will rip open an insane amount of product because they're trying to find really good condition cards to be first to market. They'll pay a premium to get that PSA 10 back returned to them because they will get a premium for that grade. There's a lot of people that do that. Now, if you're a typical collector or / investor and all you want is to get money by buying something, let it sit and create profit, then this is not the approach. Buying the slabs at day 1 from like a week or 2 and even a month after release, it is not something that you should be doing because prices will fluctuate and the market will find a baseline usually lower than what the cards cost. A good example of that would be right now the Zekrom and the Reshiram from Black Ball and White Flare are both going for like around $500, but you go and look at that raw price right now, screenshot it, and I can guarantee you that in a month from now, that's going to actually go down in price. PSA 10 data, we don't have it yet because, again, it takes time for those PSA 10 slabs to come from PSA grading. And then once you see it, you will start to see what the market is willing to pay for those cards. But if you're a collector and you really want a Zekrom and a Reshiram as a PSA 10 in your slab collection, I would always recommend waiting a couple months after release, let the price settle, and then you pull the trigger. Now, there could be somebody out there that would say, hey, you know what? This is my favorite Pokemon. I don't care what it costs. I got the money for it. I want to pay for it. I'm not planning on selling it or investing in it anyway. I just want to buy it at whatever it costs in a 10. But then by all means, I can't tell you what to buy with your money. But in my book, I usually like to wait 4 months at minimum for a set to settle, for all the raw cards to settle before I go into even think about purchasing any type of raw cards that I want to add to my raw collection or to my PSA slab collection. At number 3 of one of the top mistakes that investors make in the Pokemon market is overspending in pre-orders. Now, when I say pre-orders, I'm talking about pre-orders from the market because as you know, you can buy pre-orders from TCG Player, you can buy pre-orders from eBay, you can buy pre-orders from different LGSs. And a lot of times these pre-orders are not MSRP. Now, there is stores that will sell pre-orders at MSRP. I know Target would have that. I know there's a lot of local card shops that will do MSRP pre-orders months in advance. Those are totally fine. Like I tell you guys always in this channel, the best price to pay to rip Pokemon cards is MSRP. Now, MSRP has slightly changed here in the last couple of months due to this bull market, but I think it's now dancing around $55 to $60 for an ETB. If you can find an ETB at those prices and you want to rip it open, then by all means, that is fine to do in my books. The pre-orders that I'm talking about here is the TCG Player pre-order for $120, the eBay pre-order for $140 a month, 2 months before a set releases. Those pre-orders usually are not the value of the set when it comes out. And I keep saying this over and over, and I know a lot of you guys that have been around for a while know this, but there's a lot of new faces and a lot of new people in the hobby that don't really know this. And they think that if they don't buy during that pre-order phase, when the market comes out, they're not going to find any product on shelf and the prices are just going to skyrocket it. forever and ever, and that is just not the case. The prices tend to fluctuate down. They find a middle ground for a little bit because the ETBs and all these products will dry out for a couple months after release, and then it'll find a new wave up, but it's going to be a slowly progressive. If a reprint were to happen, then you're going to see those prices tank back down. Exactly what we saw with Prismatic Evolutions. It was really high, it came down, it started to creep back up, and then the Costco bundles hit us, and it's just, I think it went all the way to 90 at some point, the ETBs. They may be at that price right now. Haven't followed Prismatic in a while, but again, there is a fluctuation period that will happen up and down months after the release. And again, guys, you have 2.5 years for a reprint window to happen of a brand new set. There's no need to rush things out. What you should be doing right now, and I don't want to go too much out of topic, but it's focusing on the older sets, the older Scarlet and Violet sets that are going to go out of print here in March. Those are the ones that you should be focusing on because those are the ones that we may likely not see anymore come to the market. And then you're going to see that boom up. But the new stuff that are just coming out, you have time. You can very well wait it out. Do not pre-order a lot of these sealed products with these crazy amount of prices that people are selling them for just because you want to be first to market. For a new product, you're always going to have several cheap entry points that you can get your hands on the ETB, on bundles, on posters. GameStop will have a lot of it. Best Buy, you can go. You can find ways to find product at MSRP and not have to pay this ridiculous amount of money on a pre-order. So again, that's my advice to you. Do not go crazy on these pre-orders. The reason why I say don't go too crazy on these pre-orders is because there is people out there that just don't have the time and they are just willing to pay the money for an ETB, one of each, to put it on the seal collection and don't have to go and fight people at Costco or fight people line up at 5 in the morning at GameStop. They just don't really want to deal with any of that. If you're that type of person and you're just looking to add to your collection, you want to pay the $120 in ETB and you're going to keep it for 5+ years, then by all means, like I said before, I'm not here to tell you what to do with your own money, but if you are somebody that want to take the most advantage out of your funds, your hard-earned money, then I would say wait it out until the price settles and then find a cheaper entry point for your collection, for your investing. It's the best way to go about it. The number 2 mistake that I see that a lot of people make is buying singles based on hype. Now, this will come in different forms. There is a lot of people that will tell you that this card is underrated and it's gonna go up and it's gonna do better or good things here in the coming future. You really don't want to partake in a lot of that because with singles specifically, it is very hard to invest in. That's why a lot of people out everywhere will tell you that sealed is where it's at for investing purposes. Singles, usually you want to buy singles because you love them, because you enjoy the art, because you want to collect them, because you're a Gengar collector, you want to have a slew of Gengars on your wall, right? Type of thing. The reason for buying singles that you enjoy and love is because if in the future they were to crash down, you at least still have something that you enjoy looking at and that you enjoy because it's one of your favorite Pokemons, for example. So you always want to buy singles that you love and enjoy, that you're willing to take a hit on, and you're willing to wait it out years later when it turns back up, because it's a very changing market, up and down, and a lot of times it just feels like they go down in price without reason whatsoever. Now, there is times where you could kind of like predict the future a little bit with singles. This happened or is happening right now with the 30th anniversary being around the corner, and a lot of these cards in the 25th anniversary piling up in price. As I already saw, the Greninja went up in price, the Mew started to run up in price, because there is some type of demand for these 25th anniversary cards due to the fact that the 30th anniversary is around the corner. Now, there are cards that will go up in value and could come back and bite you in the butt. Prime example of that right now, it's the Birds from Hidden Fates. If you guys saw, the Birds have been climbing up in price. Very unique card. It is a stained glass promo from the Hidden Fates ETB, but that card got to, I think it was $120, $130 at some point. But if you look at it now, it is now coming down in price. So a lot of people that bought it out of the $120 and $130 are now losing $30 to $40 in value per card, and they were buying them in bulk because they foresaw, they thought that this card was going to continue to rise and rise and rise. So when you make decisions on buying singles based on what you see in the market and the talks of the market, what I call it noise, you tend to make rash decisions that could hurt your investment. So singles, for investing, it is a no-no in my books. Singles, you buy what you love. You don't try to buy singles to invest in because you could easily hurt yourself. You're better off looking into bundles. If you want to get into something that's not going to cost you a lot, get into sealed bundles, even the sealed blister packs. Buy those instead of buying singles and trying to flip them in the short term, because you could really easily, like I said, hurt your hard-earned money in those type of investments. All right, the number one mistake is buying a sealed product, ETB, booster box, whatever the case may be, and expecting returns in a month, 2 months, and 3 months. One thing that a lot of you guys that are new to the hobby need to understand is that buying sealed product for investment, it's a long-term game, right? The bull market that we've been in right now, it has been so strong that you could literally pile up a bunch of ETBs in the corner, grab a rubber ducky, throw it at it, whatever it lands, you buy it, and it will make you money. It's how bad the market has been, right? I don't know why I used a rubber ducky. It could be anything. Just throw anything. You guys get it. But just know that this type of market where you can buy anything sealed and you add it to your collector app and you'll see it go up in value every single time, it is not normal. This is not going to continue to happen for the coming years. It seems like we still have a couple months of the bull market to come. So there will be a time where the market will turn. And a lot of those investments, a lot of those people that are used to buying collections at 80% market, spending thousands of dollars on these products and then adding them to the collector app and seeing them rise, there's going to come a time where you're going to do that and you're going to see the opposite. A lot of these products, especially newer products, right, are going to come down in value and you're going to be able to find them at MSRP, and shelves are going to be stocked, and Walmart, Target, and all these places are going to have it available. And a lot of these people that took too much are going to have to do what? Fire sell them. Why? Because they are businesses and they're in the business of making money and paying rent and bills every single month. So they have to get rid of the product. And when you have to get rid of the product, they are willing to take very small profits to be able to move the product. And that will mean that a lot of products will come down under MSRP. And so all you have to be aware of is that this market that we're in right now, don't get too complacent. Don't get too carried away and used to buying anything going up in value. Buy that going up in value. Buy $50 ETB from Target at retail and it's automatically $100. You instant profit. That is not how things normally happen. It's not sustainable. It's not sustainable for the people that play the game, the people that like to build decks and play the game, because cards are just naturally more expensive. And if all they want to do is build decks and play the game and go to the tournaments, they can't enjoy it because it's so expensive. Whatever products they're trying to get their hands on, it's pricey. You have all these rip and shippers going through immense amounts of product day in and day out that is causing a lot of more demand and a lot of more influx in price for a lot of the sealed product that there is available, because they're trying to get their hands on a lot of collection boxes and whatever they can get their hands on to rip them open for packs to fulfill their lives. There's a lot of that happening right now. But just know that there will come a time where the things will change and you won't be able to do that anymore. So again, I just want to give a fair warning to a lot of people that are constantly doing right now. Just be very mindful of where you're putting your money into, and be very mindful that, again, the market will turn. And when it does, you don't want to be overexposed, especially in debt. You don't want to be over leveraged with debt, because when the market turns, you're going to be stuck. You're going to be in a position that a lot of people were during the 2020 and 2021 bull market. A lot of people got into a lot of debt, especially because there was like the Logan Paul and the YouTubers doing all these crazy things with $40,000 booster boxes. People were buying a lot of booster boxes in the several thousands of dollars. When the market turned, everything kind of like settled back down into a, where they should have been. And a lot of the new product that was coming out wasn't just instantly going up anymore, right? So just be mindful of that and don't get yourself overexposed. It's the biggest thing that I can put out here. The biggest advice I can give you for sealed is look at the older products, look at Paldea Evolve, look at Crown Zenith, try to find deals in the market for those sets that are already out of print or about to go out of print. Those are going to give you a better exposure in your investment portfolio than if you were to just start throwing money at Black Bolt and White Fair at the current prices there is right now, because you're going to have 2 to 3 years of prints of potential reprints that could come for that set, and there'll be a lot of entry points for that for your collection. So again, hope this was somewhat informative to people out there. And if you like this type of content, leave a like, leave a comment down below, and let me know your thoughts on everything that I put out here for you guys. And as always, stay positive, keep your head up, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.